right here at the Ritz for the first time in front of a live audience and the last time in front of his bathroom mirror, Dr. Don.
Look at you guys. Happy Valentine's Day. At my age, you never leave home without it. In fact, a quick look around the audience. There's a few people who know what I'm talking about. Looks like I should have brought a bigger roll. How y'all doing tonight? Yeah? Y'all having a good time so far? I got to start by asking you, how do you like my Yankee version of y'all? It's okay? Not bad? What? I'll tell you what, I learned this on Jekyll Island. My wife and I spent about 20 years on and off visiting the island whenever we wanted to escape from the New York weather, and I learned y'all from my next door neighbors, the Parkers. Now, we had a small cottage on the water, and the Parkers lived next door in this humongous house. Now, Mrs. Parker is a native Georgian. I believe she's from Plains. She taught me how to say y'all, and it's about the best version I can give you. I'm very appreciative of that. I don't want to mention Harriet's first name because I don't want to embarrass her. But the Parkers were good people. You know, every morning when we were there, she'd be sitting up there in her giant picture window in the kitchen, in her muumuu with a cup of coffee, reading the Brunswick news, looking down on us in our little cottage. Made it look like a brick outhouse next to those guys. But they were good people. You know, when they were done with the paper, every now and then they'd roll it back up, toss it on our lawn. Maybe a week or two late, but it's the thought. I'm excited to be here. I don't know if that shows, but like right now, I'm at an 8. People of my vintage, excitement levels have to be managed. This is risk management. That's what you're watching here, risk management. I'm at an 8. I could go to a 9 because I'm prepared. So if you get me to a 9, I'm okay because I wore my Depends. You don't want to get me to a 10, though. You just don't want to do that. It's too risky. I love coming back to the Golden Isles, and not the least of reasons is, we're from New York, born and raised New Yorkers, so we come here and Jekyll Island was great, the Golden Isles are great, the people are wonderful. I got to tell you though, when we first got here, actually having people talk back to you when you talk to them and smile took some serious getting used to. We love being here, and I think we enjoyed it so much and we were here so long that I don't know if anybody remembers it, but we managed to produce a movie while we were here called Jekyll Island, the movie. Yeah, well, I don't want to say, thank you. I don't want to say too much about that because basically, it was a late night cops and robbers shoot 'em up. And if you are a channel surfing insomniac, you can still find it probably on some streaming platform nobody's ever heard of. But I will give you a little piece of Jekyll Island movie trivia. A couple years before we did the movie, and by the way, it was filmed almost exclusively on Jekyll Island. We did a couple scenes here in Brunswick. A couple years before we did Jekyll Island, the movie, Denzel Washington was down here doing Glory. That's right. So after our movie came out and started to get distributed, believe it or not, I got an email from the intern to the second assistant to the assistant publicist to Denzel Washington. And that email said, Denzel saw your movie, loves Jekyll Island, your film, not so much. So happy Valentine's Day. How many people are here with dates? Date night? Husbands, wives, everybody. That's great, or almost everybody. It's going to be a good night. I don't want to get too personal, but it is date night. So we kind of have to look forward to these things. See what's coming our way. Is this your wife, date? Both? Both for tonight? So let me ask you, if you don't mind. Going to be a good night for you? Yeah? You think you're going to get lucky? I don't mean to... Well, I mean, I know that I am. I mean, I want to share this with you. Yeah. No, before I left, my wife said, if you get any laughs whatsoever, you're going to have a big night, dude. Because I'm going to leave the door to my bedroom open. And then she said, if by some chance you get a standing O at the end of this, you're not going to believe the surprise I got for you. She said, I'm going to let you push the beds together. So look, I don't want to pander. I don't want to beg. But basically, the success of my night is in your two hands at the end of this. Somebody here at the Ritz this morning, when we were rehearsing, and we did, I don't know if it shows, but we tried, asked me where the whole Dr. Don thing came from. I mean, I don't mention it much anymore because, back home people kind of know. But I don't want you to think it's something that I just say to get a better table at a restaurant, because it's never, ever worked. Where it came from was Sister Mary Patrick at St. Michael's Parochial School in Rochester, New York, where I was born and raised. The guy who's going to get lucky tonight. He's really excited. When you are in grade school, in a Catholic school in upstate New York, you look forward to science class, because that's where your sex education came from. Now, I was raised in the 50s, so it's not like we didn't know what was going on, but everybody looked forward to this booklet that you were going to get when you finally got to the 8th grade. So you're, 13 years old. Now, the New York State version of it was called the New York State Regents Guide to Reproductive Science, Purpose and Practice, an Illustrated Guide. The Catholic version of that was the Rochester Diocesan Guide to Marriage Fulfillment and the Process to Birth and Grace. So the book that we got was heavily redacted. This is a 10-page booklet, but by the time we got our version, it was like 5 pages. So on the opening page, there's a bit of a preference. It tells you how to prepare. So you go into your bedroom, you sprinkle holy water on the bed, you sit down with your lawfully wedded wife, and you do the prayer of procreation together. You light a votive candle because God sees everything, and apparently wanted to see if you did this right, so you lit up the room. Then you get to page 2, and there is a man fully clothed and a woman fully clothed holding a fully clothed baby. Next page starts the procedure and process, and it reads like a government document. If you want to create a new Catholic, you put your blank into your lawfully wedded wife blank. You gyrate your blank in a piston-like manner and deposit your blank into your lawfully wedded wife's blank. And 9 months from now, the miracle of birth will occur. Now, it would have been a miracle indeed if you tried to follow any of that book. But it wasn't about the description, because we all pretty much knew all that stuff. This really was about the illustrations. So when you got to page 2, there was a naked man with a big black box where his penis apparently was supposed to be. Then you get to page 3 and 4 that have been surgically excised because apparently you were supposed to see what he was going to do with it. Then you get to page 6, and you've got a completely naked woman with a bar across her breasts and a giant V between her legs. Go to page 7 and 8, which were surgically excised because apparently you didn't want to see what was supposed to happen from page 3 in pages 6 and 7. Okay, so That was my inspiration to become a man of medicine, believe it or not. I wanted to be a gynomemologist. Now that's a subset of obstetrics, gynecology that isn't practiced much more. It's about external lady parts. Now in class, I wanted to find a young lady who had similar interests so that we could explore our options. And I did. Her name was Teresa Mancuso. I'll never forget her. She wanted to be a penologist. Now there's urology, which is the study of the internal plumbing. A penologist had all to do with external parts. Terry and I would get together on every Wednesday because the nurse was off. And we would go into the nurse's office and basically have a 2-person study group. So the very first time this happened, we're in there and I'm attempting to give Terry a full gynecological workup. And when I undid her blouse, can you imagine my surprise when there was no black box there? So now I'm just off the charts with excitement and anticipation to see what might be behind that giant V. Never got a chance because Sister Mary Patrick walked in. So now I'm at my 133rd Catholic school detention. They named an entire blackboard after me because I had to go in there for a solid month, 30 days after class, and write 250 times, "I will not practice medicine in school." You know, Terry and I were kind of committed to our craft. Loved this young lady. I mean, she was really into penology. So it turns out, we go visit the nurse's office on another Wednesday, and they had locked the door. Look, I'm a 13-year-old Italian from a neighborhood in Rochester, New York. There's no lock that couldn't get picked by a 10-year-old with my upbringing. So we got back in the room. So Terry began to give me a full testicular cancer screening. And I want to tell you, if there's any young guys and certainly any old guys, you're never too young or too late to get a testicular cancer screening. So Terry is in me, we're about to begin, and who walks in again but Mother Mary Patrick. All right, well, this was it. So now we got a full-on thing at school. My parents got called, we came down, the Monsignor came, Sister Mary Patrick came. The bottom line was, you tell this kid to stop practicing medicine at school or he's never coming back here again. And that was the end of my medical career, but the name Dr. Don stuck. So that's where that came from. Now you know. Yeah, thank you. I'll tell you, one of the reasons, well, we drove down here, my wife and I, probably 10 days ago now, and I don't know, you guys remember the weather then? So we came down from New York, and we tried to do it in one trip. You know, it's basically a 13-hour trip if you pee in a cup, 14 hours if you stop, and, you know, we're always debating which strategy we want to use. My wife's always, you know, well, what cup you going to bring? I mean, what are you going to do with it when you fill it? And why don't we just stop? But anyway, we stopped, and team driving. I mean, we do this as a team, right? I mean, I'm sure you guys have all driven with your significant others and you've gone on long trips. Well, we do this together. I man the controls, and from the comfort and safety of the passenger side, Stephanie tells me exactly how to do it. For the entire 14 hours. I mean, she's just the best. Never tires out. Never goes to sleep. Just sits there and tells me exactly how to do it. I mean, she's a savant behind the wheel or anywhere in proximity to a wheel. If there's a wheel in a room, she'll tell you exactly what to do with it. She's a godsend. especially for somebody like me who's just learning how to drive, apparently, after having done it for 60 years already. Speaking of God, as we just were, anybody here believe in a supreme being? And I don't mean our current president. I mean, a real God that's going to make faith great again. Really, raise your hands. Who believes in God? Well, my faith in God was renewed, actually, recently on this trip down here. About 3 months ago, and this is true. All these stories, there's always an element of truth to it, so I'm telling you which part is true. I woke up one morning completely deaf in my right ear. No warning, just woke up one morning, couldn't hear out of my right ear. Well, that's a bit freaky. So I'm thinking, well, that was starting to piss me off because I couldn't figure out what was going on. I thought, you know what? I'm going to go to church and see what happened to God's plan for me. So I was a relatively, good Catholic growing up. I was an altar boy. I mean, now I admit I'm a bit of a lapsed Catholic. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it basically means that most of the 10 Commandments have lapsed for me. So anyway, I go into church and I'm thinking, all right, what's happening here? So, either I had no spiritual capital left, God wasn't there, or I simply couldn't hear him because I didn't get any answers. I let it slide, and we're driving down here 10 days ago, and we're going through Winston-Salem at the time when I'm sure it's going to be referred to as the Great Blizzard of 26. It really was incredible. And, I'm in North Carolina. I'm from Rochester, New York. It's just, okay, a little bit of snow out there. But it got a little nerve-wracking because you think about the fact that the one snowplow that Winston-Salem probably owns is being driven by a guy who's probably never sat in it before. So my wife, God bless her, is telling me exactly how to drive through this. Right? And she's like a psychotic mime in the passenger seat. And I know some of you guys know this, right? It's like, for hours. And she's screaming because I could see her mouth moving. Then I had an epiphany, a spiritual revelation, a eureka moment. I finally realized that I went deaf in my passenger side ear. God is good. And he definitely operates in strange and mysterious ways. So, I'll bet you think that's not true. Oh man, she's here somewhere. If you can find her later, ask. She'll cop to it maybe. So I'll tell you the real reason I'm excited to be here is that a week from today, as it turns out, right here in the Golden Isles, because we're going to hang out for a week after this, I'm about to celebrate a very important and personal milestone in my life. And I thought, okay, well, I'm in Brunswick. Why not share it with a room full of perfect strangers who probably just don't even give a shit? So I'm going to share it with you. Next week, next Saturday, I'm going to be celebrating 55 years of marriage. Thank you. Now, 5 different wives, but the years have been consecutive. And while I probably don't deserve that applause, I guarantee you I've earned it. That's not true. Same wife, same woman, all 55 years. Thanks. Every one of those 55 years. All 55 years. One right after the other. Oh. And anyway, when you do something that long, People want to know how you manage it. What's going on? How do you actually do 55 years of marriage? Well, I got to tell you that it ain't easy. And what you do get from 55 years of marriage is a perspective and a lot of observational data. I have observed, for example, that women have opinions about things. Lots of things. Pretty much everything. And they're not at all bashful about where or when they share those opinions. But I thought there ought to be some rules of engagement, some humanitarian guidelines, some lines you just didn't cross. Well, apparently not at my house. Because I thought the line in the sand, the red line for me, was the threshold to the bathroom. The last place anybody can escape for a moment of peace and serenity. Now, I don't know about you guys, but all I want to do in the morning is roll out of bed, take the 20 or 30 seconds it takes for me to stand upright, get into the kitchen, grab a cup of coffee, get back to the bathroom in time, and do some constitutional work as I page through the latest issue of Travel and Leisure magazine. Well, I no sooner get into the bathroom, sit down and begin to clear my mind and my bowels, when this shadow washes over me, sucking the last bit of light and ray of hope right out of the bathroom. So I look up. It's Stephanie. 4'11" of her, blocking the doorway, with her arms folded, surveying the situation like she's breaking down a crime scene. Our two rescue cockapoos are flanking her like two furry fence posts, just staring at me like they've never seen anybody take a shit before. I mean, they're dogs. That's what they do. They eat and they poop. And they're looking at me like I'm the odd man out. I'm sitting in the bathroom now, on my throne, with my custom Carrera marble coffee cup holder in one hand, my Travel and Leisure magazine in my lap, and this in my other. So, this, by the way, folks, is single-ply toilet paper. I don't like double-ply toilet paper. I don't like super absorbent toilet paper. I don't like quilted northern, southern, or any other regionally based certificate of deposit. I just like single-ply toilet paper. So I'm in there, sitting down, thinking the thoughts of the deeply contented. With this in my one hand. And Stephanie just destroys the silence with, "What are you doing?" I mean, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. We got a full-on family summit in 25 windowless square feet of porcelain fixtures and hard edges. Where am I going to go? My skivvies are down around my ankles. My junk's between my legs. I'm not going to go anywhere, because if I get up and run, I'm going to be hurt. And you guys don't know Stephanie, but trust me when I tell you, resistance is futile. I said, okay, obviously something is wrong. What's the problem? The toilet paper, she says. It's too much. You don't need that much. I said, well, Stephanie, first of all, you don't know what my immediate need might be at the moment. And it's not a lot, it's just all bunched up. It's single-ply toilet paper. She says it is too much, and she snatches it out of my hand, and does this. She folds it in half, rips it in half, rolls one half back onto the roll, which I'm not going to do for you now because it's way too painful to watch. Takes the good half, wraps it into a little pile, and hands it to me. I said, well, I appreciate that, but obviously you have an opinion about how this should all be handled, so why don't you keep it and finish the job? Because frankly, I don't give a shit, and you can see the irony in that, because it's a win-win for me. I get my ass wiped, and you can wipe that smile right off your face. Again, a relatively true story. Thanks. I'll share this last piece with you because it has to do with, Valentine's Day in a way, like all of this does. So, truly, people are curious about all this. I was at a show in Milwaukee, maybe a month ago now, and there was a 30-something millennial in the front row, very earnest kind of guy, and he raises his hand. We're in a comedy club. Any teachers here? Former teachers? Great. Well, you know what that's like. Somebody raises their hand, it's like catnip for a teacher. You gotta pick on them. You gotta go with them. I mean, it's 1 out of 100 that asks a question. So this guy raises his hand in a comedy club. People don't do that. They just shout things out. So he was respectful. I said, you, sir, why don't you stand up? Let the class hear what your question is. So he says, well, Doc, what's it like being married for 55 years? And I said, oh, my God, man, every day's a holiday. I'm living the dream right until I wake up and the nightmare starts. Then he says to me, no. What I really mean is, what's it like being with the same woman for 55 years? And gives me one of these. So you meet all kinds of people in this business, and I'm thinking, okay, what we have here either is a spaz with an eye problem or a millennial sicko perv into geriatric sex porn. So I figure, all right, I'll go along for the ride. I said, well, dude, let me tell you. Imagine leaving a piece of cheese on the kitchen table for 55 years. Smell's going to get a little funky. And if you decide to nibble on it, it's going to be an acquired taste. I got the same kind of reaction. Some woman starts screaming at me from the back of the room. You filthy old boomer, you think that's funny? You think that's a joke? Do you have any idea what a 75-year-old sausage tastes like? I said, no, ma'am, I don't. She says, well, let me tell you, it ain't all lipstick and lollipops. She said, I want you to imagine taking a Nathan's Famous all-beef ballpark Frank and leaving it out in the cheap seat sun for 9 innings. You know what you got then? It used to be plump and juicy. I mean, you could have heard, the phrase, you could have heard a pin drop? If a feather hit the floor in here, it would have sounded like a thunderclap. I mean, there's 200 people in this club. Nobody's saying a word. And their heads are going like this, like a cartoon movie, from her to me. And at this point, I'm like a deer in the headlights. I got nothing. So she said, I'll tell you what you got, Mr. Funny Man. You got nothing but a dried up old dog the size of a cocktail weenie. He said, you know what it takes to get that dog to stand up and bark? There's not enough chili cheese in this whole stadium. She said, I had to use 2 hands. And when that didn't work, I had to get out of bed, go down to the garage, grab a battery and the jumper cables. I've killed 2 car batteries trying to make that crank shaft. Shaft crank. That too. Just like this. People are staring at me and I'm staring at her. And then she decides to deliver the kill shot. And she just says from the blackness of the back of the room, "Well, there ain't nobody laughing now, is there, Mr. Funny Man?" Now, I'll tell you what, I couldn't see this woman, but after 55 years of marriage, I recognize that voice anywhere. Thank you. I appreciate you coming out. Happy Valentine's Day. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Oh, there's my standing O. Thank you, dude. Thank you. Thanks again. Thank you.